from your Google My Business listing, from the sidebar, find create an ad. You can also find the button right here, create an ad. When you press this, it will launch a new window from URL ads.google.com. If you do not have a Google Ads account created, it will prompt you to create one. Very basic, just follow the wizard. Assuming that you already logged in, when you click Tools and Settings, you will have 4 links. You want to switch to Expert mode, otherwise you will not have the Keyword Planner tool. Okay? Smart mode is great, however, you get a lot more choices and options to really target down your ads if you're in expert mode, and this is what you're seeing on the screen right now. This is the expert mode. So again, you press this tool wrench icon and switch to expert. Once you're on Tools and Expert, Keyword Planner, this is where you search for how much it costs to discover new keywords and phrases. So you can go in here and type in real estate, Liberty Village, for example, and see what people are searching, what the price of the keywords is. For example, condos for sale, Liberty Village. There's 480 average monthly searches, and top range bid is $1.04. So once you have your keyword ideas, assuming that they're correct, we want to go and create a new ad. So we will simply go back to the homepage and click New Campaign. Now, if you have any existing campaigns, they're in draft, they're going to be displayed here. And then you can click at them, or you can simply delete them, which is what we're going to do. So you can click Resume, or we can simply click New Campaign. Okay, from your options, because we're not creating any YouTube videos or do anything specific for app promotions, you're going to focus on 2 things: leads or website traffic, or sales. So sales if you want people to call you, leads if you already have a nice good landing page, as I said. So we're going to go and let's just do leads. From the select campaign type, we're going to select search. Display are the ads that follow you basically on your phone, on any device that you're linked to. If you see it on one page, then you're going to see it on another one. That's what display is. In my experience, not very handy. You're not going to get the same amount of clicks that you would from a search bar. So we're going to click search. And then for the next option, what do we want? Website visits or phone calls? Phone calls, we'll put in the phone number. And we can put website visits, but then that's just going to display the website itself. Let's put it in here because we can always remove it. If it's incorrect, you're going to get an error right here. Seems to be good. Continue. All right, so it says it picks something up. We're just going to go and start new. All right, new campaign. So we're going to call this Nouveau Condos. Make sure you take yourself out of display network once again. Now, locations. So we're going to enter a location. Ideally, I mean, if you want to farm a certain area, you could just put, Liberty Village. And if there's anything that it picks up within its database, it will find it. It didn't. So we're just going to go Toronto, for example. And then it's telling you what the reach is, 10,500,000. So when you're targeting or farming for a project or a condo, you probably want to just limit it to the city. Then again, even being international is great, but we all know that niche is always best. So for the sense of this exercise, we're going to leave it at Toronto. You can also go advanced search, and you can also pinpoint a radius of how many kilometers within a certain area you want to farm. So this is great for farming. If you're, you're targeting certain types of people, maybe people who like the King Street or Liberty Village, and you know where they live, you can kind of farm that way as well. But we're going to leave it at Toronto only. Languages, if you speak French or any other language, you can target specifically to people who speak the language as well, but we're just going to focus on English. your budget. So the average you want to spend per day. So we're gonna go $50. I mean, on average, you should probably be looking at least $1,000 a month if you want to make any dent in any competition when it comes to real estate. So $1,000, so 50, that will give us about, yeah, that will give us about $1,900, I suppose. But let's just keep going. We're gonna leave it at conversions. We're not going to select the bid strategy because that's a little too advanced. Site link extensions and callout extensions, again, these would not appear in your smart mode. This will appear in this mode. So this is where you can set out the different callout extensions, if you guys recall, and site links. So I would recommend creating site links. You can add new ones in here. And then these will essentially link out to a different URL, right? So for this one, I called it 7 to 800,000. US Hamilton listings. So I could change this to condos, for example. And then this would get redirected to the IDX long search, for example, right? So if you have a website with an IDX feed, you can link it right here. And then I could save that. And then I could take this and I could update this to say condos, and I could keep reusing this in different types of ads or try different ads with different words to see what converts people better. Okay, so now we're gonna select these three. I'm gonna preview it. So this is right now what it would look like in our ad with the site links. Okay, we're gonna leave out callouts for now and just save and continue. The next thing is search ad groups. So here, very easy. If you don't even want to use the keyword planner, you don't have to. We're just gonna call it condos. We'll put new condos search. And right in here in keywords, we're gonna put real estate and condos, oakville. And we're gonna see what Google finds based on what other people are searching. Okay, so these are the mostly searched phrases. Now you can add brackets, square brackets, and quotation marks around these phrases and target them a little better. So you have broad match, phrase match, and exact match. Exact match is if somebody types in, for example, homes for sale near me, then your ad would come at the very top. Now, but if you wanted to do that, you would need to make it into an exact match. To do that, you need to put a bracket. So this would now target that specific phrase that you would pay for. But if somebody typed this in, the odds are if you outbid everybody else for that phrase, you would appear at the very top of the search results. Now, if I wanted to do a broad match, a phrase match, then I would put extension. Now, what this means is that if somebody were to type in within their search input box, I am looking for homes for sale near me, then because your phrase is within his entire sentence query, your ad would also come up. That's phrase match. And then finally, the broad match is you don't put anything around it. And then if somebody were to, if there was an article that said top 5 homes for sale near me, then it would pull that up and also pull that up if somebody typed in 5 homes, for example. So if your phrase outbid everybody else, even if they have 5 homes, then the odds are that you may be ranked in the top 4 ads. But if somebody bought the phrase or the exact match 5 homes, then they would trump you and they would appear above you in the ad order. So it's kind of like playing cards and poker as well, right? Better card or better pair always trumps the one that's below it. So we're just gonna go with this. We're not gonna really do any search. We're just gonna take out Zillow, for example. You don't want that. You don't be promoting Zillow or anything else. And we're gonna go continue. And now we're going to be creating the actual ad itself, right? So again, we're going to be using that Nouveau example, and you can create 2 or 3 different ads that it's going to circle between, so that way you can see which one's getting more traction, right? So the first thing is for your text ad, new text ad. So this is your destination URL. So if we want to use this condo page, for example, and we don't have a vanity domain, then we're going to redirect it right to here. So we're going to go and paste that in. And let's see here. Oh, it's got a double path, so that's not going to work very well. What are they saying? To ensure that your customers' information are protected, use HTTPS. Oh, so they're basically saying that, they recommend that you should have an S instead of a T. But for that, you'd have to have a website with an SSL security thing. So for this test URL, I don't have one, but it's not a big deal. It's still, we'll take it. Your headline. Okay, so we're going to put Nouveau 2 condos, platinum VIP. You can see on this side, it's actually creating the ad in real time to see what it would look like. Right here shows you how many characters. So there's 30 characters maximum for this one headline. So the next headline, we're going to put register for Nouveau 2 condos. And then onto the third headline, VIP pricing, for example. But the reason you don't see VIP pricing is because we opted to add these extensions here, right? So they're limiting you on what you can and can't have. If you got rid of the extension, then you'd be able to have 3 headlines, for example. But I almost feel that 2 headlines is more than enough, and then adding the extra extensions is going to make it easier on whoever is looking at your ad to access, and they'll trust you more because you're making it like simpler. All right, let's put in our description. Best prices, incentives, sweet selection, first chance to buy at Nouveau. So I'm making sure to include the same phrase that I have in my headline. Oakville. Actually, let me see if I can add. No, that's too long. That's not going to work. That's okay. Okay, so 90 out of 90 characters. Then we go to the second line. So you can see that very close. And then you can add additional tracking URL options, but that's very advanced if you have any tracking cookies added within your website. So we don't. So we can go and create a second version of the ad by clicking done and create ad, or just click save and continue. And then here it previews it. So now it actually asks to create at least 3 ads in your campaign to improve your campaign performance. So we could fix it and create 3. And then just like the previous example with that fella who created different versions of his ad, it would just circle them. Or we could just go publish. And as long as you have a credit card added, it will go live usually within 24 hours. So that is how to create an ad. I'm not going to get into the specifics of how to track everything, but as long as you take the time to play with some of the tools, especially the keyword planner and the performance planner, I guarantee you that you will get result as long as you have the proper budgets in place. So that is how to create an ad here.